What's up everyone, I'm Sam
And I'm Dave.
and this is
The Controlled Chaos. So this is a new series we are starting, and if you guys like it, let us know, we'll make some more.
If you're going camping, then you need three things: your backpack, a bunch of friends, and a bunch of good horror stories. We all have been there. We all have heard those tall tales either from our grandparents or friends, like how the monster lives inside the deep forest and how it feeds on the unsuspecting victims, or how the lady in the white lures children to the river and drowns them, or how the abandoned house, you get inside, you never come back. If you come back and you are crazy, you have lost your mind, and you get the message. So in this series, we'll bring you such spooky and creepy stories from all around the world and entertain. Well, in this case, we'll try to petrify your inner child. So grab some popcorn, get cozy, and get ready to be creeped out.
It was a night with no moon. They were returning from Anugul after attending a marriage reception. Back in the days, the area was not much civilized, so you wouldn't find any smooth highways. The roads were usually surrounded with trees, and traces of civilization were dull. There exists a section of dense forest in between Anugul and Sambalpur, specifically near Radhakol. They had travelled about 70 kilometers and home was 90 more kilometers away. It was after midnight and they had only their headlights to guide them on the road. No other bikes or cars were to be seen on the road, as people tend to avoid travelling in night through the woods. Riding a bike is sometimes very tiring, especially if you are travelling a great distance. They were crossing the woods when his friend said that he was feeling a bit thirsty and asked if he had a water bottle in the bike's bag. He remembered that he forgot to pack a water bottle, so they decided to look for water in the next village. As they were riding and the cold wind pierced their skin, they reached a village. Those days, villages would usually be on the side of the main road, and that way you would see the entire village while passing by. When they reached the starting of the next village, they saw no lights. And in the villages, those days and even now, in the rural areas, people tend to fall asleep by 8. So he said to his friend that it would be unwise to go into the village and knock on someone's door to wake them up for water. So it was decided, when they would see a village or house which has lights, they would stop there and ask for water. Village after village passed by, but they didn't see any lights. And just then, they saw a village, and far away, which seemed like the end of the village, they saw light. They picked up speed and reached there quickly. What they saw was a huge mango tree, and under that a hut. The two quickly got down from the bike and walked the muddy path leading to the house. As they neared the house, they saw the cottage, which looked old and damaged, soil plastered, which came out from here and there, ceiling broken in some parts. They quickly got on the pavement of the house and knocked on the door. After 3 times of knocking, they heard some noises inside the house, and soon the door opened. Peeking from the half-open door was an old lady with grey-haired and puckered skin. Looking at him and his friend, who was standing behind him, she asked about what they wanted. He replied nervously that they were passing by and wanted some water. To further explain the situation and convince the lady, he pointed a finger at his friend and said that they were returning from Anugul to Balangir and they forgot to pack a water bottle. The journey is very long and they couldn't find any house with lights on. If she could give them some water, it would be really helpful. Soon she came out with 2 glasses of water and handed it to them. They drank it like sand-soaked rainwater. After they were satisfied, one of the friends got curious and asked the lady, "Do you live here alone?" "Don't mind me asking, but seeing a woman of your age living in an isolated place like this doesn't seem right." "Yes." "Okay, do you have any other family members, like a son or a husband?" no. While the guys were wondering if they had disturbed an elderly person in such odd time of the night, the old lady turned around and walked right inside the house. "Well, looks like we're ready to go," said one friend. "I was thinking if we could get some tea, it would be really nice. But I think we have bothered enough. Let's go. We can have our tea later on the road. I'm sure there are dhabas after Sambalpur." "She's an old lady. What's the problem? We'll pay her. Let me go inside and talk to her." "I don't know. I'm having a bad feeling about this." "You're just overthinking. I'll go inside and this will be over in no time." And then he entered the house, leaving the other friend outside. Moments passed and he could hear his friend and the old lady talking. And for a moment, he thought that having a cup of warm tea wouldn't do any bad to anyone. A few minutes later, he got bored waiting outside alone and decided to go in. "Hey, what are you two doing in there? Are you asking her for a tea or a date?" And everything went silent. He felt a little confused and walked inside the house. The inside of the house was barely visible due to darkness, and there was absolutely no noise whatsoever. The only thing he could see was a source of light coming from the end of the corner. He could only hear the crackling of what seems to be fire, so he decided to follow the direction of the light. Before he could figure out anything, he tripped over something and fell flat on his face. When he got himself together, he checked what he had tripped over. It wasn't something he thought he would ever see. It felt like a human. He looked up and saw the woman sitting in the corner of the house, but the light was coming from. He couldn't see what she was doing. He was scared. He was confused. He looked back where he had tripped, and when he looked forward again, he wished he hadn't. There she was, the old lady. Her hair was open and messy, which looked like they were almost floating in the air. Her skin so pale that she didn't seem alive, wrinkled way beyond normal, eyes glowing like red burning coal. And she was looking directly towards him. He could feel that she was staring right into his soul with her dreadful, non-human, ruby red eyes. Then he looked behind her and let out a blood-curdling scream. It was his friend. No, not his friend. His decapitated head being cooked like a steak on the hearth. His friend, who was with him just a few moments ago, was getting ready for someone's dinner. But wait, there's more. The lady's torso was completely contorted back, while her lower half of the body was straight. Her legs were inside the hearth, buried up to her knees as if they were tinder. Then he heard something. It was the old lady. "I thought it would be nice if I cook you a good, decent meal," she said and laughed hysterically. That was enough. He mustered all his strength, or what was left of it, and stood up and started running. He was petrified, devastated, and terribly confused. He ran and ran and ran, never looking back. They say they can still hear someone laughing in the area when the night is cold and dark. Perhaps she is still waiting for someone to come so that she can cook a good, decent meal for them.
Now that was scary. If you liked the video, then let us know. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't yet, and also share with your friends.
You can send us your stories. The link should be in the description, or you can click the link which should be appearing on the screen right now.
We'll see you in another segment of The Control Chaos. Till then, peace out. Leave me home, I'm scared.
Okay, let's go.
Ha 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 ha!